Hello and welcome, Pensacola Ice Flyer and SPHO fans, anyone else who may be watching. Kind of goofed up in my last video about goalies and who's on the protected list and who was left off and who might be brought back or retired, things like that. For whatever reason, I left off Pensacola Ice Flyers during that video, which is unlike me. Can't believe I actually did that. So I'm going to do a solo video on them briefly here and go over what I didn't go over, what I should have gone over in the previous video. And again, my apologies for that. Again, these comments are speculation coming from a fan perspective. I don't claim to be an expert or insider. I'm not a professional. I'm a fan that does this out of passion and love for the sport and the league. So just because I say it doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's just pure speculation and gut feeling, and from what I've seen over the course of a season and beyond and what I feel should happen and what Ice Flyers may do in this type of situation. So and that goes for all videos. This ain't about talking trash or, just being an a-hole. This is my honest, unbiased opinion on these things, and I have fun doing it, so that's why I continue to do it. So with that being said, we'll get right into it. Now, Ice Flyers unfortunately did finish in last place. First time in their franchise history they have done so, and they fired the coach midway through the season and didn't bring back the interim coach that they had take over. They hired a new coach out the gate. His name is Jeremy Gates. He's a former Pensacola Ice Flyer defensive player and assistant captain and won a ring with him. So I don't know too much about him. I don't even know if this is his first coaching gig, but something tells me it is, at least professionally. So I like the hire. They hired from within. They got a guy who obviously knows how to be a leader and win. So we'll see if that translates in his coaching. And like I said, I think it's better than who they had last year. And I don't have Pensacola finishing last place like I predicted last year. I don't think they'll be in the top 5. I mean, this is a brand new head coach and everything, but I do think that Pensacola Ice Flyers will most likely make playoffs. So the goalie they did protect, and the only goalie they protected was AJ Ruskowski. He had 7 games played for him, a goals against average of 2.36, save percentage of a .918. His regulation record was 1-3, 17 goals against, and 1 shutout on his record. Would have had 2 shutouts, basically did have 2 shutouts. He took the Peoria Rivermen in Pensacola to a shootout, not giving up a goal in regulation or overtime, obviously. And Rivermen won that game on the record books 1-0 because of a shootout victory. So that was, you don't see too many games go to a shootout with the score being 0-0. So that ended up being a Colby Muse shutout on record, and unfortunately just a loss for AJ Ruskowski, and he did not play that way to just get an L. He played and should have got a W and a shutout. So unfortunate for him. What I did see of AJ Ruskowski was consistency and excellent position and good reads at the position. He impressed me. He impressed me a lot. He impressed me the most of any Ice Flyer goalie. So if I'm going to bring back a goalie, it's going to be A.J. Ruskowski. And he's going to be my full-time starter. That's the hope. If that happens, I'm a happy Pensacola Ice Flyer fan. That's no disrespect to the other goalies, but, there can only be one starting goalie, and I think A.J. Ruskowski is that guy. The other players that were left off that protected list that were on the roster was Brody Claes as the main backup and main starter throughout the season. I can't remember. I didn't even write him down. Holy crap. The other goalie that came from Quad City Storm, and I cannot believe I can't remember his name, so there's another mess up. But he ended up leaving and not signing. I don't think you will see him back anywhere playing goalie. I do think he is retired. I think the only reason he played for the Pensacola Ice Flyers was because his family was from the area. And so that's what made it easier for him to play. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have played at all. But I don't think he's coming back for another season or a season with anybody. So I do think he's done, and unfortunately, his name, Kevin Reesop. Holy crap, it just came to me. So Kevin Reesop, yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure he's going to be retired. Who I think is going to join him in that, like I said, is Brody Claes. He had 33 games played. Like I said, he was the main guy after Kevin Reesop left. He had 33 games played. Goals against average of a 3.12, save percentage of a .901. His regulation record was 10-15, goals against 92, and no shutouts on his record. He's a very serviceable goalie. He did okay for Ice Flyers. You can't hang everything on him. I mean, just the Ice Flyers all around just were not a great team, which is why they finished last place and missed the playoffs. Just had a rough go of it, but I do believe that was mainly due to coaching and leadership issues with that team. Now, the coaching has been taken care of, and I don't see Hamilton returning to the Pensacola Ice Flyers. Is certainly not as captain. So, like I said, I think the leadership and coaching will be improved. Thus, the team will be improved. And so, again, I'm excited about that if I'm an Ice Flyer fan. Other goalies that were on the roster that you might see maybe at the a Pensacola Ice Flyers camp to try and make the team, since I'm pretty sure Kevin Reesop and Brody Claes will most likely be retired, is you had Ricardo Gonzalez, Cody Karpinski, and Reed Cooper. Reed Cooper was a free agent. He wasn't on any team when the year ended. Been to a couple of teams, Pensy, Storm, Evansville Thunderbolts, but he ended up on no team at the end of the year. Cody Karpinski came in when Brody Claes was hurt and played a little bit, and he did a pretty decent job as goaltender there. Who I would go after if I got A.J. Ruskowski as a starter, who I would want as a backup, would be Ricardo Gonzalez. I think he's a solid netminder that deserves a chance up here at the SPHL level. He's got a shutout when he played with the Rivermen. I think he played well with Pensy. I think he'll play well under this new staff and in the backup role. So, again, if I'm Pensacola, I'm hoping for maybe an A.J. Ruskowski and a Ricardo Gonzalez combo. I think that'll be a solid goaltending combo for sure. And I do think Ice Flyers will perform better if they bring back players like Sam Dabrowski, Tyler German, James Nee, obviously Ivan Bondarenko. And I know they got Jeremy Gervais and Trent Grimshaw added to their teams. If they can somehow bring those guys back, maybe a Carson Gallagher. I don't know if they got him or ended up giving him up to Roanoke. I can't remember. I think they ended up giving him up to Roanoke. I'm not sure. But, again, yeah, so there's talent there in Pensacola. I think the main issue was coaching and leadership, and I believe that's going to be corrected. Hopefully Ivan Bondarenko will be captain. Like I said, that'll shore up the leadership. And with this new head coach, I think that'll be better. I think Pensacola's better off for that. So that's Pensacola Ice Flyers, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Again, so sorry I left them off. That's not like me at all. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you at the next puck drop. And I always keep it Riverman style.